Webkinz is a topic that likely doesn't need much of an introduction. A pioneer of children's virtual worlds, Webkinz had a chokehold on not just my childhood, but the childhood of nearly 4 million children at its peak. Combining a physical plush pet with an unlockable online world to play with them was kind of revolutionary for its time, and would end up being the first of many other children's brands to try this tactic. Since its creation by toy company Gans in 2005, Webkinz has thrived with thousands of new features, pets, and experiences being added to the game regularly. However, just as the Webkinz gods can give, they can also take, and over the years we've lost quite a bit of content to the cruel sands of Kinsville. In the spirit of preserving some of these old memories, I want to look back on some of the old defunct games of the Webkinz worlds. Sometime right around the initial launch of the Webkinz virtual world in 2005, we had the elusive Wishing Well, or as we would now call it, Wishing Well 1. The game only existed in the arcade for a short period of time before being entirely replaced in 2007 with the game that we now know as Wishing Well 2. Why? We're not fully sure, but there's been quite a bit of speculation since the change. Mainly people pointing out that the game kind of resembled a slot machine and not, a wishing well like the name would suggest. Gameplay-wise though, both wishing wells play about the same, except notably there was way more potential to earn Kinz Cash in the original. Something Webkinz fans have since had to mourn. Bamboo Break was a standard Tetris clone with a bamboo theme slapped on top. This game had an even shorter lifespan in the arcade, only being playable for a year between 2009 and 2010. After the swift removal of the game, fans began to speculate as to why Gans would remove it. Coincidentally, around that same time in 2010, the Tetris company was notably cracking down on clones of their games, so it's fair to assume Webkinz probably didn't want to get into trouble.
Roll.
Dicekinz is on a whole different level from every other game in this list. It was insanely complicated and insanely popular. I remember spending hours playing this game on my family's PC, hunched over and having 9-year-old gamer rage. I'm gonna try to break this down in as simple of terms as I can, but I cannot stress enough how really complex this game is for being in a children's virtual world. The goal of Dicekinz is to get to the end of this U-shaped board before your opponent. The game was turn-based, and every turn was broken into 3 phases. The first is your roll phase, where both players roll 6 dice each to decide their hand for the turn. Second was your jostle phase, where you'd use your dice to engage with your opponents, usually attacking or defending. And then there was the run phase, where the game counts how many roll dice you have left and then moves you accordingly. As you might have picked up on, there's also 3 different kinds of dice. Action dice, which you use to attack during the jostle phase, defensive dice, which can be used to negate an attack during the jostle phase, and your run dice, which determine how many spaces your Webkinz will move on the board. Usually, a player would attack your run dice so you can't make progress on the board for that turn, but the complexity of the game allowed for a lot of different strategies. The game ran from 2007 to 2012 and even had booster packs of better dice you could buy during its lifespan. It's been speculated, though, that this complicated gameplay and constant upkeep from Gans is what eventually led the game to getting the boot, but again, speculation. Quizzy'z Whizkins was another tournament arena game that lasted from 2010 to sometime around 2013. The game was just a multiplayer version of the still existing Quizzy'z Corners, which, if you don't know, is just a multiple choice trivia game. You and another opponent would race to see who answers 20 questions faster to determine the winner. Despite not getting an announcement upon its retirement, a 2014 Throwback Thursday post from Gans stated their reason for removing the game was apparently ongoing bugs. Mazin Hamsters was almost too much of a game mechanic for me to consider in this video, but I think through and through it's enough of a game to count. Debuting in 2019 and lasting until 2015, Mazin Hamsters was another way for Gans to sink their teeth deeper into the plush market. You could buy one of these 16 hamsters and they'd come with a code like any other Webkinz pets, except entering it would unlock an entire 3D world within the already existing Webkinz world. You controlled your hamsters as they explored the hamlet, traversed mazes, and completed challenges to earn moolah, the currency of the hamster world. Moolah was used in the Mazin Mall to buy all sorts of things, ranging from new tubes for your hamsters to furniture for your Webkinz rooms. In order to run this pretty demanding world inside of the Webkinz world, you had to have Unity Web Player downloaded to your computer. The issue was, in 2015, Unity Web Player was no longer supported by most major browsers, which, if you don't know, Webkinz was a browser game. Because of that, led Ganz to make the difficult decision to close the game. Luckily, shortly after their conception though, the hamsters were given the ability to be played with in the Webkinz world like any normal pet. So at least when the world of Mazin Hamsters shut down, none of the actual hamsters were lost. Minigolf lasted the longest out of all the retired games and came as the most unexpected when it was removed. It was available from 2005 to relatively recently in 2019. The point of the game was standard: get the ball in the hole in as little turns as possible. Despite being a popular option for playing with friends, yes, it was multiplayer, the game wasn't given a reason around its removal. It was, however, given one community challenge on the way out, where players could earn a displayable golf bag to remember it by. The Wacky logout Carnival was single-handedly responsible for getting me in trouble for being on the computer too long, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It lasted 8 years from its 2011 debut and was retired in 2019. In order to play once a day when you went to log off of the Webkinz world, you'd be able to participate in 3 quick minigames for some extra Kinz cash. First, you play Launch Wacky, where you, appropriately, launch Wacky in one of those Carnival test your strength type machines. Second was Wacky Pinata, where you time your swings with a meter to break the pinata open. And third was Wacky Balloon Darts, which is super similar to the still existing Webkinz game just called Balloon Darts, except it's appropriately themed around Wacky. To play, you throw 3 darts at moving balloons for whatever prizes may be hiding inside. Having been doing this set of games every single time I logged out meant it left a hole in my heart when it was removed. Like, instantly noticed it wasn't there, frantically Googling just to learn it was gone. Like, rest in peace, I guess. And as of right now, that is all the retired Webkinz games there are. The future of these games, however, is still uncertain. Ganz has been known to bring games back from retirement before, see Color Storm and Zingo's Bounce, so there's still a chance that maybe someday we can play Dicekinz like the good old days. Also, in my research for this video, I got super interested in the Webkinz trading card game, so if that's something you would like to see me devote a fuck ton of time and research into doing and talking about, leave me a comment or something. I would absolutely love to hear it. But yeah, I hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something or just maybe got to indulge in a little nostalgia. Either way, this is my first video, so thank you, and I will see you later. Bye. Hi, it's Gambit from the future. I can't in good conscience not take footage of, like, a close-up of this fucking Webkinz logo on my face. I am so proud of this. This looks so good. It looks good. Okay, that's all. Thank you. I hope you liked the video. I'm done. Bye.